Hi everyone, it's April from Wildlife Yoga and Health. Welcome back to my channel. So if you've been following along this month, we have been doing all of the types of yoga that I offer in my in-person classes. That ranges from affirmations. I have an affirmations video for self-love, and then meditation. So I have a self-love meditation. I have a breathwork video with alternate nostril breathing and breath of fire, and that's a cleansing, calming breath. And then this week we're gonna do asana, the physical practice of yoga only. And we're not gonna have any meditation to start, no intention setting, but we will have shavasana at the end. And then next week what we're gonna do is put all of it together and make it into a video that is very much like a mini version of what I offer for my in-person classes. So if you're excited for that and you're ready, it's going to be a little more intermediate today. Obviously, if you're a beginner, feel free to try the poses. Know that it might take consistency to get to where you ideally want to be, but with time and with practice, you definitely can achieve anything that you put your mind to. So we're going to move through some crow pose, getting some core, getting some lengthening in the hamstrings, doing some alasana, all of the above, and really just working through the spine and flowing and getting some strength. So this could be good for morning, evening, or afternoon, just whenever you're doing it, depending on how your body feels. But know that you may need a little bit more open body to do this. So if you want to go warm up, go check out my sun salutations video and go ahead and warm up and then come back. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If you need any props, any blocks, something like that, go ahead and grab those, pause the video. Before we get started, if you could please like, subscribe, and ring the little notification bell, and you'll be alerted every week when I upload a new video. And we'll get started. So coming all the way to the top of the mat, feet come all the way together with the slight part to the heels or hip width apart, you decide. Hands come forward, so palms forward, Tadasana, mountain pose. Engaging the lower abdomen, squeezing the glutes, and then pulling in those lower ribs. We're always remaining active in the mountain pose and Tadasana. So it might look like a chill out pose, we're just kind of hanging here, but really we're lengthening and strengthening everything even while we're standing. All right, we'll inhale, arms sweep up, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, create a halfway lift, flat back. So if you're kind of like this, stretching, you can bring the hands up either to the shins or to the quads. Pull the elbows back. Plant the palms, step it back, find a plank pose. We're gonna go chaturanga to the belly, or if you do half chaturanga, you can lower to the knees and then come down. So pressing forward on the toes, all the way down to the belly. Inhale, press up through cobra. Open the heart, open the chest, pull the elbows in, and then go ahead and lower down, rolling over to our right side, and then pressing through into a side seal. Stretching the side body on the right side. Breathe here. Bring that left foot in front of you as a kickstand, and then we're going to start to press through that bottom hand. Lift the left hand up to the sky. So this is a half or a side plank modification. Go ahead and lower the hip back down, reach towards the back foot, reverse Skandasana, press back up, side plank, lower down, Skandasana, lift back up, half plank, side plank, and then lower back down, Skandasana, reverse Skandasana. Go ahead and come all the way back up into that side plank. And then we're going to bring that left foot forward. So pivot that back foot, bring that left foot forward into a runner's lunge. Maybe a little rock forward and back here, opening up the back hip flexor. And then lower the knee down. Inhale, arms sweep up, low lunge, holding the shoulders in place as we pull them down, but reaching the fingers up at the same time. Plant the right palm. Maybe we just put it a little more forward of the foot, reach back towards the back foot, and then start to bend in the back knee, reaching for the outside of that foot, coming into what's called a twisted monkey. Take another breath here. Maybe lowering down to the elbow, just for a breath or two. And then go ahead and release. Plant the fingertips, step the back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Palms come forward, Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's do that again on the other side. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold forward however you choose. Inhale, halfway lift. Remember that flat back, send the hips back. Plant the palms, step back or hop. Press forward on the toes to come through chaturanga all the way to the belly. Remember, like a board, your hips should not sink first. Inhale, cobra. And then exhale, lower down, roll over into your side seal. Pressing up, stretching that left side body. Maybe that left hand goes a little more forward. And then bringing that right foot in front of you now, kickstanding it. Reach the right arm up as we press into that bottom foot. Coming into that modified side plank. Lower down, reach for the back of the mat, reverse Skandasana. Inhale, back up, side plank. Exhale, reverse Skandasana. Inhale, press up. And exhale, reverse Skandasana. Lift the arm back up. We're gonna pivot on that back foot, bring the right foot forward, runner's lunge. Bend in that front knee as we rock a little forward and back. Breathing here. Take another breath. And then lower the back knee, toes untuck. Inhale, arms sweep up. Low lunge, Anjaneyasana. And then lower that left hand down. Reach the right arm back as we start to bend in that back knee to pull the foot towards us. Fix your stance however you need to. So if your knee is going way past your ankle in the front, go ahead and bring it back in. Should be in line with the ankle. Maybe we lower down to the elbow for the last couple breaths. And then slowly release that back foot. Frame the foot with the hands. Step back into your plank. Go through a vinyasa flow. Elbows all the way back. Inhale. Open the chest, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here. All right, inhale to the toes, round the upper spine, come into a high plank. Bend the knees, send the hips back, lift the hips up. So downward dog rolls, let's do a few more. Rounding that upper spine, high plank. Bend the knees, send the hips back. Downward dog. Inhale to the toes, round the upper back. High plank. Bend the knees, send the hips up and back. All right. If you want to do a couple more, you can, or you can take a breath here. Looking forward, we're going to hop or walk to the outsides of our hands for Malasana. Feet come wide, toes spill over the mat, lowering the hips down and pressing those elbows into the thighs. You should be getting a little bit of heat here, getting a little bit of warmth, or maybe a lot of warmth depending on your fitness level. Go ahead and plant the palms. Send the hips up, forward fold, and then go ahead and come back down into your Malasana. We're going to bring the hands to the heart, but this time we're going to press through the heels, engage the glute med, so the little tiny glute muscle here, as we start to press all the way up into a standing position. Inhale the arms up, upward hands pose, and exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Go ahead and lower back down through Malasana. Come into that squat. Plant the palms about shoulder width apart. Fingers are wide. Remember, high five your yoga mat, always. And then start to lift the hips up. If this is how you enter crow pose, go ahead and send the eyes of the elbows forwards and the elbows bend back just slightly. We'll bring the knees to the outsides of the arms and we'll go into a crow pose that way by squeezing and pulling it in. Or if you're a little more advanced, bring the feet all the way together. Lift the toes, knees to the armpits. Pull those elbows in as elbow armpits shine forward. Look forward. Start to lean. Maybe this is where we stay. Or maybe we begin to lift one leg, lift the other. Take a breath. Stay here as many breaths as you feel comfortable, gripping that yoga mat, rounding the upper spine and pulling those feet up and in. Go ahead and lower back down whenever you're ready. Bring the feet forward, all the way down with the hips. We'll start to reach forward and go back, getting a little action, going back and forth. And then we're gonna rock into our plow pose. Make sure you have blocks if you know you need them. Legs go up, hands to the lower back. Walk the elbows in, straighten the legs, and bring the feet to the ground or to your blocks. If you can't reach the ground and you're kind of hanging out here, I'd prefer you to bend your knees and pull them towards the ears. Keep the torso nice and tall, so you want a lot of support here with the hands if your torso is not upright. No looking around, so make sure you're looking straight up, protecting the neck. And really, maybe you plant the base of the foot down. Take another breath. And then go ahead and lower the hands. We'll start to bring the hips down, one vertebra at a time, or as slowly as you can possibly go. All the way down. Bring the legs down to the ground. Go ahead and plant the feet flat. Walk the hands underneath the hips. And then straighten the legs here. Pulling the elbows in underneath the body. And then starting to press into the elbows to lift the gaze, looking at the feet. And then we open the heart by pressing through the elbows and start to arch the back, reaching the top of the head to gently rest on the ground. If you do have any neck issues, you may want to skip this pose. Breathe here. So most of the weight or most of the pressure is going to be on your elbows here. And we're still pointing the toes, engaging the legs. Fish pose, Matsyasana. Take another breath. And then slowly start to tuck the chin. Bring the back to the floor. Feet come back in as we release the hands. Maybe we bring the feet as wide as the yoga mat and windshield wiper the legs from side to side. Make sure your feet are wide to do this or else the effect will not quite be the same. Take another breath. And then bring the feet in. They remain hip width apart, so these are your hip points here. Your feet need to be in line with those hip points. Your legs are two straight lines and your feet are as close to the hips as possible. Plant the palms as we start to send the hips up into bridge pose. Maybe you begin to walk the shoulders underneath and bind the hands underneath. Squeeze the thighs in, especially if your knees are going out. You really want to pull them in and use those hip abductors. Take another breath. Send the chest a little higher, send the chin a little higher, and release the hands if they were bound. Go ahead and lower down one vertebra at a time. Relax the shoulders, maybe the windshield wipers side to side. And so now you can move back into that bridge position. You can go for the bridge, or you can start to go for wheel pose if it is in your practice. So you choose your option. Be very careful if you've never tried wheel pose before. This is not for everyone, or not for beginners if you've never tried it. All right, so feet about hip width, pull the heels in as close as possible. Start to go up into the bridge pose. From here, we're gonna need to put our hands next to our ears with the fingers facing our shoulders. So your elbows need to be pulled in, and then we start to lift the hips higher, press into the hands, maybe go to the top of your head first, fix your hands, and then come up in through wheel pose, bringing the head between the shoulders. Squeeze the legs, pull the knees together. So our feet should be in 2 straight lines here, just to protect the lower back. Maybe we start to bend the right knee towards the sky, and maybe we point the toe up to the sky. It requires a lot of strength, be careful. Go ahead and lower that foot down, and then use the other knee towards the chest, up to the sky, and then lower down. Start to lower down as we press through the hands, tuck the chin, and come down to the back. Whew. So either you were in bridge or you were in upward bridge, which is essentially wheel pose. Feet come as wide as that yoga mat. Let the knees fall over to the left. You can remain here, or you can bring that left foot to the top of the right knee and allow that knee to sink the other knee down. Getting a nice stretch along that T-band and the side of the right hip. Maybe the arms go into a cactus shape or into a T shape where they're nice and long. You decide. Breathe out all the tension. And go ahead and lift the corners of your mouth. And really thank yourself for doing this practice today. Maybe it was something you're comfortable with. Maybe it's something that you've never tried. Just knowing that you put in the energy today to get on the mat and to do something for your body. Take another breath and exhale, let it out. Go ahead and remove that top foot if you had it crossed, and then bring the feet back wide, knees to center. Maybe fix the hips. So feet are still wide as your yoga mat. Allow the knees to fall over to the right. Windshield wiper the legs. If you brought the foot on top of the knee, do that on this side too to keep it nice and even, and allow it to weigh down that left knee. Take a few more breaths here. Make them nice and meaningful. Maybe you keep that smile on your face, getting all those feel-good chemicals through yoga, the oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, everything that makes your mental health really pop. Take another breath and exhale, let it out. Remove that top foot if you had it there. Bring the knees back through center, and one more time to the left, and then one more time to the right. Just loosen the hips. If you feel like you need an extra one on each side, that's okay. You go ahead and do you. And the knees come back to center. Bring the knees towards the chest, hug them up and in. Knees to chest. That's literally what pose is called, knees to chest. Breathing here. Maybe a little rock side to side, massaging that lower back after everything you did. And then allow the knees to part. We're going to reach for the outsides of the feet. and bring the feet towards the sky. Pull the knees towards the ground. So a lot of people do this, but I want you to really open the feet so they are like they're flat on the ceiling. And then pull the knees towards the outsides of the hips. So this is essentially like a yogi squat, but lying on our back. Take a couple more breaths. And exhale, let them out. Take one more. And let it go. All right, go ahead and bring the feet back in, lower them down, and extend the legs to each corner of the mat. Palms come up from the hips a little, just slightly, and then tuck the scapulas and flatten them down. Take another big breath here. And exhale, let it go. Shavasana, corpse pose. We'll only be here for about a minute before we close out. And if you like the other parts of the practice, you can click on the affirmations video, the meditation and the breathwork video, and I'll put them all in a playlist for you so you know they're a full practice if you tie them all together. And just a little silence here. Go ahead and take another big inhale. Open the mouth, let it go. Feeling gravity wash over you. Feeling the earth underneath you, supporting you and holding you to the surface. We'll slowly bring the knees into the chest. And this time we're going to rock ourselves up and back, so that we come up into a seated position. So go ahead and start to gain momentum, rocking yourself upright into a seated position. All right, so hopefully your hair is all crazy like mine. That means you did a good job. And we're gonna go ahead and close on out. I want to thank you so much for trusting me to guide you on this practice today and for following me on my channel. Please let me know below what part of this flow was your favorite, and if you have any other ideas for future flows, if there's certain body parts you want to work on, certain poses, or if you want something for anxiety or comfort or energy. Anything goes, so let me know, obviously within reason. And that is all I have for you today. So that being said, please make sure you like, subscribe, and if you really, really enjoyed this, share with someone you think will like it as well. That's all I got for you today, so we'll go ahead and bow to one another. Thank you so very much for spending your time with me, and I will see you soon. Namaste. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you so very much, and I'll see you later. Peace out.